It's a damp night from Fenway Park as we get ready for Game 4 of the 4-game series between the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, a tough loss last night for the Red Sox as they were down by the Twins 15-8. And as the Red Sox begin play today, they are tied atop the American League East with the Baltimore Orioles. And the Red Sox have a tough stretch coming up in their schedule. It begins with Toronto over the weekend, and then after Monday's day off, Sox will play 20 consecutive days. It begins with a 9-game trip before they welcome Terry Francona back to Fenway. The stretch before their next off day concludes with 2 in Philadelphia and 3 in New York against the Yankees. We welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, the Red Sox, a tough loss last night here at Fenway Park.
Well, make no mistake about it, it was an awful loss last night here at Fenway Park. But if anything positive comes out of a loss, it's the way the Red Sox played the game all the way through. And there were plenty of examples in a game that they were beaten badly, where they just hustled their tail off throughout the game. You see Victorino running hard down the first base line. Dustin Pedroia making a diving play to get an out at first base. You see Stephen Drew chopping one in front of the plate and hustling down the line to pick up himself a base hit. And, of course, Jacoby Ellsbury also hustling to beat out a double play late in the game when the game was totally out of hand. Now, Johnny Gomes mentioned it after the game last night. He says, we did not quit in this game, regardless of the score. And I asked John Farrell about that this afternoon, and he was very impressed with the effort they put forward. Now, that doesn't put a W in the win column for him, but it does show that his team has a lot of character and will play hard till the end.
Well, it seems like a move a day lately for the Red Sox, and there are more today. We'll come back and tell you about it, get you an update on John Hanrahan, who's going to be gone for a little while from the Red Sox. Twins and the Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Well, certainly the Red Sox have had their fair share of injuries lately, and Joel Hanrahan, who left the mound the other night with what appeared to be forearm stiffness, the news is a little bit worse. He now has a pending doctor's visit to Dr. James Andrews, and he has been placed on the 60-day DL for the Red Sox. So this is going to take quite a while now for Hanrahan to return. Alan Webster was last night's starter for the Red Sox, his second Major League start. It did not go well, and he was optioned to Pawtucket late last night. Coming up from the Paw Sox, Jose De La Torre will be added to the Red Sox bullpen and is available for John Farrell tonight. A tough outing for Alan Webster in last night's game, and with more on Alan Webster, here's Jenny Dell.
That's right, Don. It was a rough one for Alan Webster out there. Not even surviving through the second inning. Webster gave up 8 runs and allowed 3 walks. But pitching coach Juan Nieves says you can't pass judgment on a pitcher after just one outing. And that brings us to our Geico quote of the day. And he said, Rome was not built in one day. Go back to square one and keep on working on whatever you have to do. Cy Young Award winners are working on their craft every day. It's no different. Sometimes they take their bumps and bruises. Don?
Tonight, John Lackey will try to help the Red Sox bounce back. A 1-2 season so far. Tonight marks his 4th start of the season. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Kia, Mazda of New England, Toyota's official site for deals via Toyota.com, and by Southwest Airlines. Well, good evening once again, everybody. Welcome back to Fenway Park on what is a rainy, damp, cold night here right now at Fenway Park, with a breeze coming in from center field to start the game. The tarp was on the field about half an hour ago. They peeled it back, did some work on the warning track area and the infield, and it has so far been kind of a strange weather night here at Fenway Park in that there are blue skies off in the distance, and then from time to time we've actually seen some sun, but it has been rainy here at the ballpark also. Currently 56 degrees, feels cooler than that. Breeze in from right to left at 9 miles per hour, and a chance of more showers taking place during the evening. But we're going to start on time tonight as the Red Sox take the field. As they do, let's check out the Twins batting order. It's brought to you tonight by Jordan's Furniture. Brian Dozier leads it off at second base with Joe Mauer doing the catching. He bats second. Josh Willingham is in left field batting third with Justin Morneau at first base. Trevor Plouffe at third base with Ryan Domet, the DH, batting sixth. Oswaldo Arcia is in right field. He bats seventh with Aaron Hicks, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Pedro Florimon is at shortstop batting ninth for the Twins. On the mound tonight for the Red Sox is John Lackey, who makes his fourth start. He is 1-2 with a 3.52 earned run average, 16 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .258 against John Lackey.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on Nesson by Southwest Airlines. They have dropped to 11th in the American League, 20 errors in 34 games. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Stephen Drew, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Daniel Nava, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shane Victorino. And David Ross doing the catching for John Lackey.
Umpiring crew tonight, Lance Barksdale has the plate calling the balls and strikes with Corey Blazer at first base. The crew chief, Jeff Nelson, at second base. And Ed Hickox is the umpire at third. Tonight's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
And the Red Sox and Twins wrapping up this 4-game series. And for the Twins, a lengthy road trip that took them to Cleveland and Detroit before coming to Fenway Park for this 4-game series. So Ron Gardenhire and his team will be headed home after the ball game tonight. Red Sox will welcome the Toronto Blue Jays beginning tomorrow night. And again, looks like we'll be dodging the raindrops here tonight at Fenway Park, as Brian Dozier stands in to get it started for the Twins. .237 average with a home run and 9 runs batted in. And a first pitch strike into Dozier. We're underway. Dozier in the series 2 for 10 against the Red Sox, has a home run and a run batted in. Dozier quickly down 0-2. John Lackey making his first career start against the Twins at Fenway Park. That is just his second appearance overall against the Twins as a member of the Red Sox. Last time he faced them was on the 14th of April in 2010, and it was on the road. Last 4 starts against Minnesota, a 2.08 earned run average. Swing and a miss, and a good start to the night for John Lackey.
You look at this lineup tonight for the Twins. Only 3 players in the lineup have faced Lackey in the past, and Dozier is not one of them. Looks like a cut fastball from Lackey to pick up the first strikeout of the night.
So 1 down for Joe Mauer. Mauer takes strike 1. And there for a strike, and Lackey has come out throwing strikes tonight. He is quickly ahead 0-2 after striking out Brian Dozier. The field set up straight away on Joe Mauer. And a foul off to the left out of play. Joe Mauer riding a 7-game hitting streak, coming into tonight's action at 379 during the streak. Mauer in the series 7 for 14 at 500. He's got 5 doubles in this 4-game series. And a breaking ball strikes out Mauer. Back-to-back Ks for Lackey, 2 down.
A good curveball from John Lackey. Gets ahead in the count, gets Mauer to chase a bad pitch that's out of the strike zone. So a strikeout on a cut fastball, and then the curveball by Lackey for the first 2 outs of the ball game.
Two down for Josh Willingham, the left fielder for the Twins. 225 with 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in. He was hit with a pitch in last night's game as he takes strike 1. Lackey's been ahead of everybody so far. And he jumps ahead now, 0-2. Willingham has seen an average of 4.39 pitches per plate appearance, tied for second most in the American League. He is behind Mike Napoli, who leads the league. Like seeing 4.45 pitches per at bat. Strike 3. How about this start tonight for John Lackey? Strikes out the side in order. Red Sox are coming up. Red Sox coming up, and the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off. He is in center field with Shane Victorino in right. Dustin Pedroia at second base bats third with David Ortiz at DH. Mike Napoli at first base with Daniel Nava in left field batting sixth. Will Middlebrooks at third base seventh with Stephen Drew at shortstop eighth. And David Ross does the catching. He bats ninth. Now standing in is Jacoby Ellsbury to get it started. And the first pitch from Kevin Correa, and this is outside for ball one. Correa coming in with a winning record individually at 3-2. 2.83 earned run average, 19 Ks to 7 walks, and opponents hitting at 256 against Correa. It's on the ground to short. Florimone throws out Ellsbury for the first out of the bottom of the first inning.
The defense tonight for the Twins, they are fifth in the American League with 13 errors in 30 games. Trevor Plouffe will be at third base. Pedro Florimone will be the shortstop. Brian Dozier at second and Justin Morneau the first baseman. Left to right, Josh Hamilton, Aaron Hicks, and Oswaldo Arcia, and Joe Mauer doing the catching for Correa.
One out here in the bottom of the first inning for Shane Victorino. Kevin Correa, selected by the Giants in the 4th round in 2002 out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. As the pitch misses high, ball 1.
Mentioned, Don, not many of the Red Sox Twins had faced Lockey. The same case with the Red Sox, but Victorino has faced him. 429 with a home run against him.
The pitch is in there for a strike. Here's our key matchup brought to you by Acura, as Jerry was mentioning. 1-1. In there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Well, he started in the Giants organization, did Correa, and was an all-star in 2011 representing the Pirates. Did not appear in the game. This is lined into right field for Victorino. First base runner of the night for either side. It's a base hit for Shane Victorino.
He jumps on the fastball, hard line drive to right field for the base hit. Mentioned only 3 players, Victorino, Pedroia, and Drew, have faced him in his major league career. Victorino 3 steals on the season, been caught a couple of times.
Dustin Pedroia 3-11 with a home run and 13 runs batted in. And Dustin takes strike 1. Other organizations that Correa has been with in the majors: the San Diego Padres 2009, 2010, the Pirates 2011 and 2012. As I mentioned, was an all-star for the Pirates and originally with the Giants, so now the Twins are his 4th team in the majors. So he backs off, and Mauer will give him the signs again. That is outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Pedroia 6 for 13 in the series against the Twins. Bluff from Correa, and back to the bag goes Victorino. Field set up straight away on Pedroia. In the air to left field. Willingham is there, and he makes the catch shy of the track for the second out of the first inning as Victorino back to the bag at first. So 2 down in the inning, and that'll bring up David Ortiz. And David at 381, 4 home runs and 17 runs batted in. Big Papi had his hitting streak come to an end last night here at Fenway Park. David 0 for his last 8 as he stands in. 0 for 5 in last night's game, and 2 for 13 the series against the Minnesota Twins. It comes to an end tonight. There is strike 1. Correa with a fastball, cutter, a curveball, and a changeup in his arsenal. Ball 1-1-1.
Seen a couple of cutters so far. One to Dustin Pedroia to get that fly ball to left field. That last pitch was a cutter to David Ortiz.
Outside 2-1. Well, the Red Sox beginning the night tied atop the American League East with the Orioles, identical records. Well, the Red Sox and O's at 21-13 heading into tonight's action. Baltimore, and they're playing tonight. They're in the midst of a rain delay in Baltimore. New York is in the 7th inning against the Rockies. Beat the Rockies last night and trail or have a 3-1 lead tonight. This is sky to center where Hicks will pull it in to end the inning. Shane Victorino's left at first base with through 1 without a score. On a great start for John Lackey in the first inning as he strikes out Dozier, Maurer, and Willingham in the first in succession. And Justin Morneau leads it off in the second inning. They pitch in there for strike 1 to Morneau. So Lackey's been ahead of everybody so far. Morneau at 267, 2 home runs and 21 runs batted in. In the air to right field, sending Victorino back a step or two for the first out of the inning.
Now, John Lackey had a very good start in the first inning, striking out the side. He got Dozier on a cut fastball. He gets Mauer on a curveball, and then Willingham on a fastball. So his control has been right there very early in this game tonight.
1 out, 4 in a row. Retired by Lackey to get it started. And Trevor Plouffe, the batter. Swinging a foul tip. Plouffe hitting at 250 with 4 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Tried to pick up the outside corner but misses away. 1-1. Plouffe 4 for 12 in the series with 4 RBIs. And a swing and a miss has him down 1-2. Defensive swing from Plouffe as he gets a piece to foul it off. On deck for the Twins is Ryan Doumit, the DH tonight. He bats out of the number 6 spot in the order for Minnesota. Swing and a miss, and that is the 4th strikeout of the night for John Lackey. He's got it going on here. 2 down in the inning.
You know, John, we were talking prior to the game in the pregame show with TC and Wake about, you know, John Lackey, and to me it looks like he's so free and easy with his delivery. You know, coming off an injury like he did, you think he might be a little tentative, but that hasn't been the case at all.
So 2 down here in the second inning. Ryan Doumit, the batter. 244, 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. And that's kind of the way we remember him with the Angels.
Yep.
And I'm not sure we've seen that with the Red Sox in the course of his time wearing a Red Sox uniform. Of course, undergoing Tommy John surgery and coming back healthy by all accounts from the beginning of spring training, and then had the biceps problem that shelved him for a little while, but now tonight makes his 4th start of this season. Doman hits it in the air to right field, sending Victorino back. He will have room as he makes the catch on the base of the track to end the inning. A 1-2-3 second for John Lackey with scoreless from Fenway. And Will Middlebrooks featured in the inning as Sox come to bat here in the 2nd inning against Kevin Correa. Gave up a 1-out single to Shane Victorino, but then proceeded to get Pedroia and Ortiz to get out of the 1st inning. And the first pitch in is strike 1 to Mike Napoli. .269 average for Napoli to start the night. 6 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Strike over the outside corner as Napoli looking back. Now coming into tonight, Napoli leads the majors in extra base hits with 22, including a major league best 15 doubles on the year. Tied for 2nd in the majors in RBIs with 32. First member of the Red Sox to have both 32 RBIs and 22 extra base hits in the first 34 games of the year since Jim Rice, 1978. Napoli now, Nava next. Red Sox batting here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Golfs hit foul off to the right, out of play. MLB.com At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go and is available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Red Sox baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit redsox.com for details. 2-2 is on the ground towards Dozier at 2nd base. His throw is in plenty of time for the first out of the inning.
Pretty steady diet of cut fastballs that time to Napoli, and finally gets the ground ball at 2nd base. Keeping that ball away from Napoli, outside part of the plate.
One down here in the second inning, and it brings up Daniel Nava. 284, 5 home runs, and 20 runs batted in. Nava has not started the last couple of days. Victorino returning, and Johnny Gomes getting back-to-back starts in left field. Came into the game defensively last night as he takes the breaking ball for strike one. Gomes, who last night had the grand slam for the Red Sox in the first inning, not in the starting lineup tonight. Nava hits a fly ball to center field, sending Hicks back onto the warning track to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Let's send it down to field level and Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, Will Middlebrooks happy to be back in the lineup today. Said he's still feeling a little sore and tender in that right rib cage area, and actually joked around and said it almost felt like he got hit by a truck when him and David Ross collided at the wall. Manager John Farrell said he was actually surprised to see how quickly Middlebrooks has returned.
Now, Jerry, it looked like he was going to be a while for both those guys.
Yeah, it did, and especially Ross, the way he had to limp off the field, and fortunately for both guys back in the lineup, only missing one game.
Well, this was it Tuesday night on the pop-up and foul ground.
It was an incredible effort by both guys going for the ball, and Middlebrooks able to hold on, and he said that it was the wall that really did the damage to his side.
Left center field, and it's going to get in for a base hit. Hicks over the plate off the wall. Middlebrooks heads for second base. He is going to get there standing. 2-out double for Will Middlebrooks. Second hit of the night for the Red Sox.
Now Middlebrooks get a cut fastball that time, but it stayed inside part of the plate right there, and he jumps all over it for the gap ball in left center field. For the most part, Middlebrooks, when he sees that cutter or anything breaking, it's away from him. That ball stayed inside, and he jumps all over it.
So 2 down, Middlebrooks in scoring position, and that brings up Stephen Drew. Drew at 244 with 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. He takes strike one. Well, Drew has hit safely in the last 4 games and hit at 500 in the last 4 games. 8 for his last 16. The last 10 games hitting at 389 as he started to pick it up offensively. He's always been steady defensively. Here are the numbers in the series against the Twins. Drew fouls it back, and it's 1-2. Inside, 2-2. They're raining in Baltimore, so the start of that Kansas City Baltimore Orioles game is being delayed by rain. Mentioned the Yankees playing tonight in Colorado. They got a 3-1 lead. They're in the 8th inning against the Rockies. The Yankees won 3-2 last night. Sabathia starts for the Yankees tonight as that pitch will miss, and it's a full count. Both the Orioles and Yankees tied with the Red Sox in the loss column. There's all 3 teams with 13 losses on the year. On the ground right side, sprawling is Morneau. He'll flip to the covering pitcher in time as Correa got over there, and that will end the inning. Done with 2 from the Fens without a score. as John Lackey's retired the first 6 Minnesota Twins he's faced in the game, and 4 by way of the K. As Oswaldo Arcia leads it off for Minnesota, and he takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Arcia hitting at .300 coming into tonight's game. Flare one foul off to the left, and it evens at 1-1.
He's currently on a 6-game hitting streak for the Twins. You can see what he's done in this series against the Red Sox. 5 for 9 with a couple of doubles.
Swings at the 1-1 and sends it to shallow left. Nava will make his way in and take care of out number 1. So 4 strikeouts, 3 flyouts. And Lackey's retired the first 7 that he has dealt with tonight. And something is up here with Middlebrooks.
Yeah, he came in to talk to John Lackey, and Lackey's calling out the trainer and John Farrell.
They would have thrown the baseball around. Lackey would have gotten the baseball from Middlebrooks perhaps, and so he's going to stay in the game for now.
Well, we'll see how that develops as the night goes on. He might have tweaked something on his side on that swing.
One down here in the 3rd inning. Aaron Hicks will be the batter. First round draft choice of the Twins. Last year played in Double-A. Here he is in the majors. And he takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Hicks at 128 with a home run, 12 runs batted in his first go around in the majors. He is 2 for 9 in this series. Showed bunt, grabbed the attention of Middlebrooks charging in from 3rd.
Now that would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it, if you were on the Twins? Test Middlebrooks.
Yeah. He's not feeling great. Why not drop a bunt down that 3rd base line? That just misses the outside corner. Lackey has stayed away with the first 3 pitches. In there for a strike, 3-1. Lackey coming in at 1-2, the 3.52 earned run average. Start number 4 of his season. And a foul tip for strike 2. Lackey's longest outing is 6 innings. That was the win against the Houston Astros. Otherwise, he's gone 4 1/3 in 5 innings. Protecting the plate is Hicks and fouling it back. Well, just 3 pitchers with more than 275 starts in the American League since '02. Joins CC Sabathia, who's made 340, and Mark Burley at 337. This one is chop foul. This guy who was pretty used to going over 200 innings every year. He tallied both 150 strikeouts and 200 innings in a season 5 times since 2003. Only 1 of 5 players to do that in the same time span. This is right back at him, and look what he's got right in the glove. 2 down in the inning.
Now Lackey, who falls off slightly toward the first base side, gets that glove up in time on the line drive back through the middle. That's good reactions by Lackey right there. Right in the webbing of the glove for the second out of the inning.
So 2 down. That was ticketed to center field. This one's right back at him too and threw into center field.
Okay, enough's enough. You know, I'll catch one, but the other one, no chance. Ground ball this time.
So Florimone has got himself a base hit right back up the middle. And it'll bring up Brian Dozier. Second time through now for the Twins. Dozier, a strikeout victim in the first inning as he went swinging. Runner goes. The pitch is a strike and a throw. Not in time. Stolen base for Florimone.
He had a very good jump at first base, and Ross actually made that closer than it probably should have been. There you see the jump by Florimone. He goes into the head for a slide. The tag is going to be on the back while the hand is on the bag.
So in the scoring position here with 2 outs in the inning. On the ground to first base, Mike Napoli's got it. He'll take it to the bag himself and end the inning. Twins threaten but do not score. We're through 2.5 without a score. Sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation. And John Lackey through the first 3 innings has thrown 36 pitches, giving up just the 1 hit. 4 strikeouts so far for Lackey, and his team comes to bat here in the last half of the 3rd inning. David Ross will lead it off for the Red Sox, sitting at 237, 4 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Ross leaving Tuesday night's game with that injury after the collision. It's listed as a left quad contusion. As he fouls that first pitch back for strike 1. Last 5 games that he has played in, hitting at .462 with 3 homers and 3 RBIs. Ross has 4 total home runs on the season. 4 of his 9 hits have left the park. Going outside, 1-1. They're underway at Camden Yards in Baltimore after the rain delay. They're in the first inning. Kansas City and Baltimore playing there tonight. Correa's given up 2 hits. First inning single by Shane Victorino. Second inning double by Will Middlebrooks. Ross will foul it back, and even the count at 2-2. But coming up tomorrow on Dennis and Callahan, DNC will preview Game 5 of the Bruins and Maple Leafs at the Garden, as well as break down John Lackey's started here at Fenway against the Twins. All begins at 6 a.m. here on Nesson and on 93.7 WEEI FM. 2-2 to David Ross. Let's size him up inside for ball 3. Ross bats now. Jacoby Ellsbury will be next. Popped up foul back. Mauer doesn't know where it is. Now he finds it and makes the catch. Kind of twilight here at Fenway Park, and Mauer did not see it, but it stayed up long enough for him to recover, find it, and run back and make the catch.
Yeah, what a terrific play by Joe Mauer, the catcher, because you're right, Don. He had no idea where this pop-up was. He's looking off to the first base side, looks back to the pitcher. The pitcher is pointing to behind home plate, and he comes back and is able to make the catch. Fortunately for Mauer, the ball was hit high enough to give him a chance to do that. But he looked in a couple of different directions and finally got some help from his pitcher.
So 1 down as Ross is retired. Looked like he was going to get another chance, but instead Mauer comes back and makes the play. There's Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury grounded out to the shortstop Jose Florimon in the first inning. Correa coming in with a record of 3-2. Pretty good ERA of 2.83 and into his 7th start for the Minnesota Twins this season. In the air to center field, sending Hicks back to the warning track to make the catch in front of the wall. We'll send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, fans may have seen that Red Sox pitchers have begun taking batting practice to get ready for interleague play with the Phillies in a couple of weeks. So for our AT&T Twitter question of the night, I would like to start a debate right now. Are you for or against the designated hitter? Why or why not? Send us your tweets at the hashtag #pitchers@bat, and we'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
Well, we'll find out. Hashtag #pitchers@bat. And this is the earliest that I can ever remember it taking place, but it's very different this year. You don't have all the games, interleague games together. You've got them mixed all through the entire season.
Yeah, and John Farrell said the other day that he wanted his pitchers to start early taking batting practice so they get into that use of, movement of swinging a bat. So when it happens in a game, they're not pulling muscles, they're not doing things that are going to hurt them. And that's why they've started early. But you're right, there are more interleague games obviously this year, and more of a need to, for pitchers to hit.
There are quite a few American League pitchers over the years who have been hurt in interleague games, running the bases. I think of Clay Buchholz running the bases in San Francisco, and Bartolo Colon injuring himself in that mighty swing he took in Philadelphia. So they are getting ready as the pitch is going to be in there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
But you know something else? They enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun for them to go out and do something different every day than just the normal routine of shagging fly balls and throwing between starts. They're doing something different.
Red Sox do have some good hitters. They have lost Lackey, who is a terrific hitter, and of course had a couple of home runs. What did I say? Beckett had 2 home runs in Philadelphia against the Phillies. Lackey is a good hitter. He's 3 for 8 so far in a Red Sox uniform, and Ryan Dempster has certainly spent enough time in the National League. 17 RBIs in his career at the plate. 3-1 pitch is grounded down the first baseline, foul. And we'll do it again here with a full count to Victorino. I think the DH should be in both leagues.
Well, you know me. I mean, I'm an American League guy.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I really do. But that's for the fans to decide and people that have much more influence on the game than I do.
3-2. And Victorino will line it off the top of the glove for Justin Morneau. In is Arcia trying to get to second base and getting there safely is Victorino. Full hustle there as he knew he had a chance to get to second base, and he does. Morneau got a piece of it to slow it down into right field, and into second goes Victorino.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's any chance he was going to get 2 bases off this. Once it deflects off the glove and slows down, that means that Arcia has to really charge this ball hard, and knowing that, Victorino just rounds first base and continues in the scoring position with 2 outs. That's a good time to try it with 2 outs. And really not even that close at second base.
He is 7 for 15 in the series now. There's Shane Victorino. At second base with 2 down is Dustin Pedroia. Now has a chance to deliver him. And he sends it into center field, a base hit. Victorino being waved around. Hicks is up and throwing, but it won't be in time as the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. A little 2-out magic here for the Red Sox as Pedroia drives in the game's first run.
Right over the head, too, of Correa as the line shot goes into center field by Pedroia. He picks on that first pitch, a fastball middle in, and right over the head of the pitcher. He throws the glove up, can't knock it down, and Victorino, who stretched it into a double, now scores. So good hustle by Victorino turns into a run on the RBI by Pedroia, his 14th of the season.
Well, Pedroia trying to get into scoring position here as he takes his lead with 2 outs, and Big Papi stands in. Ortiz flied out to center field, and he grounds one with a bit of a shift on here. Dozier's in short right, and he'll throw out Big Papi to end the inning. Red Sox get the game's first run, 1-0 Boston. As we head to the top half of the 4th inning, Red Sox grab a run in the bottom of the 3rd thanks to an RBI single by Dustin Pedroia. Joe Mauer leading it off, and Mauer takes strike 1. Now struck out swinging in the first inning. One of 4 strikeouts tonight so far for John Lackey. 2, 3, and 4, toughest part of this Twins order, featured here in the top half of the 4th inning. And that's another strike. 0-2. Lackey's thrown 38 pitches and 29 have been strikes. 76% strikes so far for Lackey tonight. Trying to get Mauer to chase. He does not. Strikeout high for Lackey on the season. His first outing against Toronto in the loss. He struck out 8 batters before leaving with the injury. Is down the left field line, will go foul. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket also has your seats for all this summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Mauer strikes out on a high fastball. That is strikeout number 5 for John Lackey. Elevates on Mauer. NESN's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. You put your family first, your job first, even your team first. Isn't it time someone put you first? Eastern Bank does just that with products like Eastern Free Checking. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank.
Lackey climbing the ladder with the fastball that time to pick up the strikeout. First pitch that was up in the zone to Joe Mauer.
Now deals with Josh Willingham as Mauer has struck out twice against John Lackey. Willingham struck out looking in the first inning. Tried to hold up, it goes around. No 2 pitch. He is grounded softly towards third. Middlebrooks get kind of a late start. His off-balance throw is in time. Good stretch on the other side by Napoli. There are 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Well, it looks like no problem that time for Middlebrooks making that play at third base, where he had to come in on the ball, get rid of the ball very quickly, throw off 1 foot. Nice stretch at first base by Napoli, and they pick up the 2nd out of the inning. I'm sure that Middlebrooks is still experiencing some discomfort on that side. He has to be.
Two down in the 4th inning. Morneau down the left field line. Nava on the run, and he won't get there. Drops in for a hit. He'll fire to second, and Morneau has got to hold on with a long single. That one was kind of hooking away from Nava down that left field line.
Yeah, Nava gets to it very quickly, gets it barehanded, gets it back to second base, and keeps Morneau out of scoring position. This ball slicing away from Nava. You can see how he plays that ball and gets it back in quickly.
So a 2-out base runner here for the Twins. Trevor Plouffe, the batter. Plouffe struck out swinging in the 2nd inning as he takes a look at strike 1, a high strike call. So far, the strike zone for Lance Barksdale has been to the liking of John Lackey. On the corner for strike 2. No 2 to Plouffe. And it's a fly ball to right field, playable for Shane Victorino. Out now in as he makes the catch that ends the inning. Twins strand the man, 3.5 done, 1-0 Sox. Middlebrooks here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Kevin Correa has one grounded foul down the third baseline off the foot or leg of Mike Napoli.
That happens quite often in Napoli because he's got that slight uppercut swing that he has and hits on top of a lot of baseballs, and the result, right off the foot. Seen that happen a couple of times where that shin guard hasn't really helped very much, has it?
No, he's got the shin and kind of the ankle covered, but that foul ball eluded all of that. Correa's not struck anybody out, has not walked anybody. So far 4 hits and a run allowed by the Twins right-hander. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Wanted the pitch before, brought it in a little bit this time, and does pick up the corner. Nava, then Middlebrooks here in the 4th inning. On the ground towards third base, backing up a step is Plouffe. Plenty of time to get Napoli for the first out of the inning. NESN's coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. Running your own business takes a team effort, and as the #1 SBA lender in New England 3 years in a row, Eastern Bank is a key part of your lineup. See how Eastern Bank puts you first. Monster seats filled up tonight as this crowd has settled in. Kind of a late arriving crowd, but they have moved in now. I think most wanted to see whether the rain would stay away. And of course, the tarp was on the field for about half hour before the game, before they peeled it back and went to work and started on time tonight. And good crowd will have settled in here at Fenway.
Yeah, we had a pretty nasty thunderstorm roll through here about 6 o'clock, and at that time I didn't think the ball game was going to start on time, but then it just stopped. They took the top off the field, and away we go.
I think we actually got that lightning strike that we heard when sitting here in the booth.
That scared me.
2-0 pitch. Here it is.
It was loud.
Knocked out the camera behind home plate, our RoboCam. Had I been thinking, Jerry, I would have put out the RoboCam in our booth while it was storming.
And get rid of that thing.
Yes.
Get it out of your grill.
Because that one's now broken down there. The one we really want to break is the one that is right in our face. Right here. That's the one I'd like to have hit. But unfortunately, I wasn't thinking quick enough. We left it inside.
Had it inside
To protect it. Never fouls it off, and it's 3-2. There it is.
Stop watching us.
It's right there in our face for the entire game.
And you know they're watching us in the truck all the time.
Entire time. Yeah. Extreme close-up. It ain't pretty. I'm out. You know that's why it's there.
Oh, yeah.
No other reason.
Oh, yeah.
To see what we are doing. 3-2 is lined into right. Nava's got himself a base hit. 1 for 2 on the night.
Well, Nava trying to get back in the swing of things after missing a couple of games, and he gets the cut fastball down and in. Takes that line drive into right field for the base hit with 1 out.
One out, one on, and Middlebrooks coming up. He had a gapper double into left center field his first time up. Pitch zipped inside. Kind of a late reaction from Middlebrooks. Fights it off foul, running in on him, and evens the count at 1-1.
So far in this game, they have tried to keep everything inside to Middlebrooks.
In again, but this time called a strike over the inside corner. And it's 1-2. Fouls it back. Doesn't seem like it takes very long in the major leagues for advanced scouts and teams to figure out ways to get you out.
You know, it's interesting when you watch Middlebrooks throughout this season. You know, for the most part, most teams have been throwing him away and wasting pitches inside. Now we see just the opposite here tonight for the Minnesota Twins. Almost everything has been inside. Let's see if they go away with 2 strikes. Back inside again.
Do you think the struggles that he has had this season is a result of teams reacting to what they saw last year?
I think part of it is, and I think the other part is that, you know, Will just probably has not felt real comfortable. I mean, he had that big home run game, and sometimes after that you can get a little home run crazy. You know, his shoulder starts to fly a little bit.
Soft ground ball left side. Florimon bare hands and throws, and nicely dug out by Morneau as they get Middlebrooks at first base. Nava takes second. Nice play by the Twins shortstop.
Yeah, very nice play. Played it with his bare hand and just barely got Middlebrooks at first base. There's the cut fastball again. That time it's a little bit away, and topping it was Middlebrooks. Nice off balance throw by Florimon, who's been very impressive in this series against the Red Sox.
Two down, Nava at second base, and Stephen Drew, the batter, grounded out to first base in the second inning. It's his second look at Kevin Correa. Swing and a miss for strike one. Red Sox out hitting the Twins 5-2 as they bat here in the fourth inning on top 1-0. We have one 2-out RBI in this game. Drew looking for another. On the ground up the middle into center field, a base hit. Nava being waved around. He will score, and the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead. Both runs coming with 2 outs in an inning. And Stephen Drew's torrid pace continues.
5-game hitting streak now for Drew. Picks up RBI number 14 on the season. Pedroia with a 2-out base hit to drive in a run. Drew with a 2-out base hit to drive in a run. Boy, Stephen Drew looks so much more comfortable at the plate now than he did just a week and a half ago.
8 RBIs in 8 games in the month for Stephen Drew. He's at first with 2 down in the inning, and David Ross, his second at bat of the night. He fouled out to the catcher Joe Mauer in the third inning. Too far inside, and it's 2-0. Mauer's going to head out and talk to Correa. We'll tune into NESN tomorrow night starting at 6 p.m. for more Stanley Cup playoff coverage as the Bruins and Maple Leafs face off in Game 5 of their first-round series. Bruins are looking to wrap up the series at home after taking both games up at the Air Canada Centre. The Bruins on NESN and the Sox on NESN Plus. Don't miss all the action tomorrow. Bruins with a chance to wrap it up tomorrow night. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Stephen Drew at first, and 2-0 to Ross with a swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. Correa tries to battle back. Ross goes around, trying to hold up, could not, and evens at 2-2. Outside for ball 3, full count. So Drew will get a start at first base with 2 outs in the inning. And Morneau letting the pitcher know that he's not going to hold him on. So now backs off first base. Swing and a miss, strikes out Ross. That's the first K for Correa. Red Sox add a run and take a 2-0 lead.
To Fenway on Mother's Day this Sunday. I will pick one story and me, you, and your mom before the game. Go to nesn.com/story to submit your Mother's Day story. Yes!
A chance to send your Mother's Day story to Big Papi, and he will pick one, and it should be fun. He'll get a chance to meet you and your mom, which should be terrific here at Fenway Park. One of the great smiles in the major leagues. David Ortiz. 2-0 Red Sox on top as Ryan Doumit leads it off here for the Twins. Doumit, Arcia, and Hicks to face Lackey here in the 5th. Lackey's only allowed 2 hits, singled by Pedro Flormon in the 3rd inning and a single by Morneau in the 4th inning. He's been working at a pretty rapid pace. Stillman backs out, trying to break up some of this momentum that Lackey has enjoyed tonight. Shakes off Ross a few times, and now Tillman back out again. Coming in with the gas, and it just misses. This pitch that Lackey has gotten from time to time tonight. It's 1-2 now. On the ground at Pedroia, one high hop. Tillman is out number 1 of the inning. Well, speaking of fan stories, let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, I've really been enjoying these fan stories. I'm in a section right now with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Massachusetts Bay, and we have Big Brother here, Juan. What made you want to be a Big Brother?
Well, I did this program many years back, 5th grade to be exact. I just wanted to share my experience, and this made me the Big Brother I am today.
Very nice. And Josh, your Big Brother here. Why are you in this program, and what does it mean to you that you're able to have a Big Brother to really look up to?
Well, it shows me like how the future can change for me, because we've been through the same situations, and so it's not just struggles in life, it's more, there can be accomplishments too. So yeah.
Very well said. And here at the Red Sox game, Red Sox honoring Big Brother Big Sister program, both Red Sox fans, how excited are you to be at this game here?
Super excited. Yeah. Super excited.
You having a good time? Red Sox having a good season so far.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for being our fans of the game. This has been a lot of fun. Great section up here. And for fans at home, if you have a reason of why you're coming to Fenway Park, please go to NESN.com/stories and let us know why. Everyone give a big wave to the camera. Big wave to the camera.
All right, Jay, thanks very much. Great program. As a pitch here to Arcia, who bats with a count of 2-1. Lackey off the backside of the mound. Arcia backs out. Oswaldo Arcia fly to left field in the 3rd inning. 2-1 from Lackey. And a pop-up foul ground as Middlebrooks will go as far as he can, but that's well back into the seats. Happy 18th birthday. Two pitch coming to Arcia. That's outside, ball 3. Arcia bats now. Hicks will be next as the Twins bat here in the top half of the 5th inning. Outfield set up straight away on Arcia. On the ground, foul. Lackey taking a little bit longer this inning to decide what he wants to throw than innings previous. And back and forth a few times with David Ross. And how he deals second time through here with the Twins. Three-two pitch. In the air to center field. Ellsbury going back. It is hit well. Ellsbury at the wall. Will not make the catch. The ricochet is handled by Nava. Heading for third base is Arcia. He'll get there without a problem. And a one-out triple for Arcia. Off the wall and straightaway center field.
I was surprised the ball carried as far as it did. You know, earlier in the ball game, the wind was blowing in, and this would have been an out. But now the wind is blowing out toward left field just a bit. It's pushed the ball. Ellsbury goes up and just missed it right off the above the jump and leap of Jacoby Ellsbury, and the 3-base hit for Arcia, who keeps the hitting streak going now at 7 games.
So he's at third base with 1 out. First member of the Minnesota Twins to visit third in the game. And a play at third, and it gets off the glove of Middlebrooks.
Now Middlebrooks trying to be quick with that tag. It looks like they may have had Arcia too. That throw just up the third base line a little bit, as you can see here. And Middlebrooks trying to swipe it and bring it back to the bag while trying to block the bag all at the same time. Fortunately, the ball did not go into left field.
Swing and a miss, and it evens at 1-1. Next line back to Lackey in the third inning. And a hot shot right back at John Lackey, who made the catch. In the air to right field towards the corner, hit well, and that ball is going to be off the wall on a hop. From third base comes Arcia as Aaron Hicks with an RBI double gets the Twins on the board. It's now 2-1.
Now the bottom part of the batting order doing damage here. Arcia with the triple followed by the double by Hicks. It's the cut fastball that stays out over the plate for Lackey. And Hicks, it's just a long way. Short hops that fence out there in right field. And standing at second base in scoring position is Hicks.
Now Florimone will take a pitch outside for ball one, and David Ross headed out to talk to John Lackey.
Now that last curveball just really kind of slipped out of the hand of Lackey.
Sox fans, turn two of your own this season. Pair together two great Sox games at Fenway Park, including a Yankees or summer weekend game with a double play ticket package. Visit redsox.com/double play to create your package now. 1-0 pitch to Pedro Florimone. We'll have to wait as Lackey backs off and again goes through the signs with David Ross. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Florimone. Inning started with Doman grounding out to second base, but Arcia triples off the wall in center. Hicks doubles into the right field corner, and another tying run in scoring position for the Twins. That's a strike, and it evens at 2-2. Florimone didn't think so.
Thought that ball might have been up and away, but I think it did catch the top of the strike zone. Cut fastball from Lackey. Just a piece of it got the top of the strike zone.
On deck, the top of the order, Brian Dozier with one out here in the top half of the fifth. Lackey backing off as he goes through the signs again. Is it me, or have they not really been on the same page in this inning, going back and forth a little bit more than earlier innings?
Second time through the lineup. Maybe they're trying to change things up a little bit. Maybe Lackey's thinking on a different page as David Ross right now. But you're right, there has been a lot of shaking off in this particular inning.
Three-two pitch coming, and it is ripped foul. Down to the photographer's well.
That first time through the lineup, Lackey went with a lot of fastballs and cut fastballs. Now he's mixing in more curveballs.
Hicks gains his lead off second base. 3-2 again to Florimone. And he got him. Strikes out Florimone Foul tipped into Ross's mitt. That's the 6th strikeout of the night for Lackey.
Right back to the fastball from John Lackey, which he's had success with tonight, and throws it right by Florimon, right down the heart of the plate. The Pitch Zone on NESN is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
There are 2 down. Hicks at second base. Brian Dozier, the batter, 0 for 2 in the game. In the dirt as Ross is able to block it. No advance for Hicks at second base. Dozier is struck out and grounded out. On the right field line, foul, 1-1. His ticket brings us the pitching line for John Lackey. 4 2/3 innings deep, 4 hits and a run. He hasn't walked anybody and struck out 6. Just picked up his 6th K to 71 pitches. This is the hardest he's had to work in the game here in the 5th inning. It's 2 outs, a runner at second. He's given up a run in the inning. Falls behind 2-1. Flared foul off to the right, evens at 2-2. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lackey. The Twins do grab a run. It's 2-1 Boston. Innings live. Tim Wakefield is in studio to help break down tonight's action, along with clubhouse reaction and John Farrell's post-game press conference. WB Mason, extra innings live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. It's on to the last half of the 5th inning at Fenway Park. Red Sox have a 2-1 lead. The Twins getting on the board in the top half of the inning. And it is Jacoby Ellsbury, Shane Victorino, and Dustin Pedroia in the 5th. Top of the Red Sox order against Kevin Correa. His team gets a run back for him. Third time Ellsbury has faced Correa in the game, and Jacoby is grounded out to short and flied out to the warning track in center field. On the ground right side, Dozier to his left from the outfield. A good throw and a nice play by the Twins' second baseman for the first out of the inning.
Sometimes you get caught in between, should I dive or not dive? And that time Dozier makes the decision not to dive, and he's able to still make the play. Good range shown at second base by Dozier. The sidearm flip to first to get the out.
One out here in the 5th inning. Shane Victorino, the batter. He is 2 for 2 on the night. He is single to right and double to right. They take strike one. Ball and a strike now to Victorino. Pitch 76 of the night for Correa, and a foul backing out of play. Well, the Red Sox jumped on the board in the 3rd inning with Victorino at second base and 2 outs. Dustin Pedroia with an RBI single plates Victorino with the game's first run, and then Stephen Drew with 2 outs, and Daniel Nava at second base drives in Nava and puts the Red Sox on top 2-0. Twins get a run in the top half of this inning, and it is a 2-1 game with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Victorino to left. Josh Willingham's got to come in, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 down here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Dustin Pedroia. Fly out to left, and the RBI single that we just showed you so far tonight for Pedroia. Strike over the outside corner. Kansas City's jumped out to a 4-1 lead over the Orioles. They're in the 4th inning after the start of that game was delayed at Camden Yards tonight. And the Yankees winners again today against Colorado as New York wins that game 3-1. Orioles facing former Oriole Jeremy Guthrie tonight, going for Kansas City in that 4-1 lead for the Royals. The 2-pitch will bounce in, 1-2. On the ground left side, the third baseman Plouffe will cut it off, and the throw not in time. Pedroia beats it out.
Well, because of how far Plouffe had to go for that ball, he could not get himself in position to make a very strong throw to first base, and Pedroia, hustling all the way down the line, will beat it out. He's got a long way to go to his left, and then the off-balance throw to first base is not going to be in time. Pedroia making the safe call himself.
So 2 down in the inning. Pedroia at first base. The inning staying alive here for the Red Sox. We'll see what Big Papi can do as he looks at strike one. David 0 for 2 in the game tonight, 0 for his last 10. Outside 1-1. One is going to miss. Mauer tried to frame it, and it's 2-1.
And teasing Ortiz with the outside changeup that time, and Big Papi not biting for it. Pretty good pitch, though, by Correa.
Inside, ball 3, 3-1. Good spot here for David Ortiz. Ortiz down to first, but Morneau able to knock it down and tag the bag. Hot shot, but Morneau corrals it and ends the inning. 2-1 Red Sox. Some of the best stories from fans who will be coming to this Sunday's Mother's Day game at Fenway Park. Send it to Nesson.com. Of course, every time he touches home plate, he points to the sky in remembrance of his late mother. And he'd like to hear your Mother's Day stories. If you're coming here to Fenway and have tickets for the game on Sunday, a chance to meet David on Sunday if he chooses yours as the winner. Then we head to the 6th inning, a 1-run lead for the Red Sox on top, 2-1. It'll be Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, and Justin Morneau against John Lackey. Pitch 75 coming up for the Red Sox right-hander. And it'll bounce in for ball 1. Joe Mauer has struck out twice against John Lackey, swinging in the 1st inning and swinging in the 4th inning. In the air, foul down the left field line.
Now both strikeouts tomorrow have come on 2 different pitches. A curveball back in the 1st inning, a fastball in the 4th inning.
Maurer grounds one up the middle. Drew dives and can't get it underneath his glove and into center. And Joe Maurer has got himself a base hit. That's the 5th hit of the night for the Twins. Let's send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, John Lackey pitching very well today, so we want to get the fans to know him a little bit off the field. So some interesting facts about John Lackey. The thing he likes most about Boston is the North End. He loves Italian food, but he hates onions. Very interesting. Person to meet would be Babe Ruth, and there's so much more information on him. And for fans at home, if they want to get to know some of the Red Sox off the field, go to NESN.com/team. We have bios, videos, stats, and tweets about all their favorite Sox, both old and new. So you can go beyond the stats at NESN.com/team. Don, what else can you tell us about him?
This is into center field, and back is Ellsbury to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Well, Jenny, I can tell you a couple things about him. His idol is Nolan Ryan, and Troy Aikman. He's got 2. Away from the field, he likes to golf. His favorite song style is country. Not surprising there. He is from Texas. Favorite road city. This seems to be a pretty good pattern developing as far as all players that we have so far profiled, like Chicago. Red Sox will be heading to Chicago on the next road trip, part of the next trip. His favorite vacation spot is any beach. Favorite food is Mexican food. If he was not a baseball player, Jerry, he would be a high school football or baseball coach.
Yeah, he loves football.
Yeah. One of the questions on the profiles I have to fill out is, what is a notable relative or acquaintance? He lists Ronnie Dunn of Brooks and Dunn, country group fame, was the best man at his dad's wedding. They were college roommates.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Danny just loaded with information. It's unbelievable.
1-1 pitch will miss.
Any other tidbits?
I think all I have left is hobby. Watching college and NFL football is what he likes to do. Away from the field activity, golf.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. All there is to know about John Lackey.
And more.
That was a single to Maurer to begin the inning. Willingham fly to center. Now 2-1 to Morneau is fouled off. This is inside. Lackey thought it might have picked up the corner, but it's away. Full count. Morneau batting now. Plouffe will be next as the Twins bat here in the top half of the 6th inning. Fouled straight back. Still a full count. Runner goes. The pitch it is down and in for ball 4. As into second base goes Maurer. He would have been out, I think, but it is ball 4 and the first walk given up by Lackey tonight. First and second with 1 out.
Yeah, he's been all around that strike zone tonight, and you're right, the first walk coming with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Had he been able to throw a strike right there, that probably would have been a strike him out, throw him out at second base. That is one of his dislikes. Walks.
Well, instead of the strike him out, throw him out, it's first and second with 1 out. And here's Trevor Plouffe, who is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the second, flied out to right in the fourth inning. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Lackey up to 86 pitches as he works with one out here in the sixth inning. Red Sox adding to their bullpen today. In case you've not heard, Jose De La Torre called up from the Paw Sox today. As the roster move for the Red Sox, as this one is back to Lackey. He throws it into center field. And around from second comes Maurer to tie the game. And Lackey has no one to blame but himself, as this game is now tied at 2.
Now they have the double play. Certainly with a good throw to second base, they're out of the inning. Instead, this ball just sails on John Lackey. Let's see how he gets his body in position to make that throw to second base. A little bit open, and that causes that throw to go wild, and around comes the tying run. So it could have been the end of the inning. The end of the inning. It's now a 2-2 ball game. Lackey spins around, and you can see him just a little bit of a stumble, and that causes that throw to go into the outfield.
Morneau gets to third on the air. Run scores on the air. And Ryan Domit takes ball one. So the Red Sox had a 2-0 advantage. It is now 2-2. And go ahead run 90 feet away here for the Twins in Morneau. At first base, Plouffe with one out. He reaches on a fielder's choice.
Plouffe has one steal on the season, has not been caught.
To right center field. On the run is Victorino. He will make the catch and fire home. Here comes Morneau. He will be safe at the plate. Ross missed the tag. Victorino almost made a great play on the catch and then the throw to the plate. But getting in is Morneau, and the Twins take a 3-2 lead.
Oh, what a throw right there by Victorino. It looked like the tag, if it was on there, was high, and the body got to the plate. Very brief argument by John Farrell. First of all, the great play by Victorino had to cover a lot of ground, and watch his throw from that position. Throws it one hop in. Now let's see. No tag. From that angle, it looked like no tag. Still can't tell.
So a 3-2 Twins lead. Runner at first. And Arcia hits one high and deep to right field. Victorino going back at the wall. It is gone. Into the bullpen. A 2-run home run for Oswaldo Arcia. It's had a terrific series, and the Twins take a 5-2 lead. The complexion of this one has changed in a heartbeat.
Yep, all on a throw to second base. Cut fastball that time stays down, and Arcia, who's had a heck of a series against the Red Sox, continues with the home run. I'd like to get another look at that play at the plate a couple more times, see if we can see if there was a tag or not. I couldn't tell on any one of the replays.
No, I'm with you. I couldn't either. At first look up here, it looked like he did not get him, but we've not seen a conclusive shot yet, and this is hit well to right. Victorino going back. He'll get this to end the inning, but the damage has most certainly been done. Twins score 4 times and take a 5-2 lead. times. We've looked at it a few times. It's still inconclusive as to whether or not there was a tag, and I think there is one thing to think about. David Ross really did not argue much.
Yeah, it's hard and very, very hard to tell. And all the replays that we had one that we could blow up, and it's the closest one, I think, that shows that maybe it was a tag. But again, as you said, Don, there was no argument by Ross. This is the one right here. Does he get a piece of him? If he did, it would have been before he got to the plate, but that's still questionable. And I think if Ross had tagged him, he would have pounced right up and been immediately in an argument with the home plate umpire.
John Farrell argued, but David Ross did not, as Mike Napoli leads it off. Red Sox now trailing by 3 runs in the game. Napoli is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second, grounded out to third. As he takes strike 1. Rain starting to fall at Fenway Park. Outfield straight away and deep on Napoli. Correa's 2-1. High fly ball down the left field line that is going to make its way into the seats. Willingham was there, Florimon was there, and Plouffe was there. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets it. For your patient or your person, Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Two balls, 2 strikes to Mike Napoli. Up, foul ground. Maurer coming back, but he won't have a play. This game summary is brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast. It's been quite a series for Arcia. He's 2 for 3, home run tonight. John Lackey, 6 innings, 6 hits. 1 earned run of the 5 that he has given up in the game. It was his miscue. Pedroia 2 for 3 with a couple of singles in the game. Twins on top 5-2 as the Red Sox bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Napoli will ground one down the third baseline. A fair ball. Headed to the left field corner. Willingham will go dig it out as Napoli has got himself another extra base hit. It's a double to begin the bottom of the 6th inning.
After a couple of pop-ups in foul territory that could not be handled, making it into the seats, he goes right down the third base line, just in fair territory. By the dive of Trevor Plouffe, when he can't make contact, it rolls all the way to the wall, and Napoli standing at second base for the leadoff double.
Major League leading 16th double of the season. And at second base to get the 6th inning started, Daniel Nava. Has fly to center and single. Has also scored a run. Turns on this and sends it foul. Stirring going on in the Twins pen. For the first time tonight.
95 pitches for Correa in this game.
Nava to right field, and this is going to get in. Napoli waited. He's going to come around and score now. And the Red Sox get their third run of the night. He wanted to make sure that got in, and then he takes off plateward and gets in. Red Sox trail by 2 runs now. It's 5-3 Minnesota.
Yeah, late break at second base by Napoli, but Butterfield still waves him home as the ball was far enough down that right field line where Rossi was going to have a very difficult time throwing him out. Now they're going to kill some time as the pitching coach comes out, and this action continues down in the bullpen.
Josh Renicky and Brian Dunsing warming in the pen right now for the Twins. First action we have seen tonight had just started as Rick Anderson goes out to buy some time, and Correa's given up a double and an RBI single to begin things here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
There's the shot by Navi. You can see there that Napoli just starts going, but is waved home by Brian Butterfield. Not even a throw to home plate. And the Red Sox get it back to within 2.
And picking up in intensity right now as Will Middlebrook stands in. A double in the 2nd inning, grounded out to short in the 4th inning. It's high for ball 1. That's a strike, 1-1.
The rain gear comes out for the fans here at Fenway.
Middlebrooks grounds one towards shortstop. Florimone will go to second, and they get the lead runner. Able to get Nava. Nice play by Dozier. Almost got handcuffed by that throw, but they do get Nava.
Yeah, very dangerous spot to get that throw right around where Nava is sliding, and those spikes coming in the second base. Florimone throwing across his body back towards second, and it's going to be low right into the runner. But Dozier able to get the hands and glove out of the way before the slide.
Here comes Ron Gardenhire to make the change as rain falling here at Fenway Park, and that'll be the night for Kevin Correa. Brian Dunsing coming into the game with the Twins on top 5-3. Resorts to provide selection, expertise, and solutions. For more info about this proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox, visit fwweb.com. 5-3 Twins on top of the Red Sox. One out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kevin Correa throws 99 pitches. It goes 5 1/3 innings. Hands it off to Brian Dunsing. His 14th appearance. No record. 2.45 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 268 against a left-hander who deals with strike one to Stephen Drew. Well, Middlebrooks held on at first base by Justin Morneau. Run in, one out here in the 6th inning. Two for 4 in his career with a home run against Brian Dunsing. Left-handers hitting at 218 against Dunsing. Drew to left field. Josh Willingham is back to make the catch on the dirt of the track for the second out of the inning. Liner out there to the warning track for out number 2.
That ball hit very well that time by Drew to the opposite field on the line, but Willingham was playing fairly deep out there in left field, able to track it down. Ball slicing away from him. He turns in the right direction and has it lined up.
Two outs. Middlebrooks at first base and David Ross the batter. Ross 0 for 2 as he fouled out to Joe Mauer, the catcher, in the 3rd inning. He struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Correa departs, responsible for Middlebrooks, who's at first base. Correa with a chance to win it. Cannot lose it. 5 1/3, 9 hits. 3 runs so far, no walks and 1 strikeout. Again, he's responsible for Middlebrooks at first base. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Ross. It's now 2-1 to the Red Sox catcher.
Sitting on a fastball that time. 2 balls, no strikes. Gets the changeup down and away, and no contact on the swing.
Strike 2. Kobe Ellsbury on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ross strikes out to conclude the 6th inning. Red Sox get a run but trail 5-3. Red Sox as they come to bat in the top half of the 7th inning. Pedro Florimon to lead it off. John Lackey's first pitch of the inning in there for strike one. Florimon has singled and struck out 2 at bats tonight. As Lackey starts the 7th inning, the Red Sox pen is busy. The tall lefty Andrew Miller up in the Boston pen. Struck out the side on 14 pitches in his appearance last night. Florimon trying to drag bunt his way on. Lackey bare hands and throws just in time.
Lackey being very careful on that throw to first base because the ball is wet. It has been raining lightly here at Fenway Park. And when you pick up that baseball right now, you pick up a wet baseball.
One out here in the 7th for Brian Dozier. 0 for 3 from the top spot of the Twins order. He has struck out twice and grounded out. And he's bunting at it for strike one. On the outside corner for strike two. Swinging a foul. And it hangs at 0-2 to Dozier. On the ground towards third as Middlebrooks cuts it off and fires across for out number 2. Let's send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, Jose De La Torre really made a name for himself in the World Baseball Classic. It said it gave him a chance to really open his eyes and face some batters that he obviously normally would not do. And he said it gave him really some confidence coming into the game. He said he's excited to be here, happy he got the opportunity, and ready to help out whenever he's needed.
Now selected today by the Red Sox from the Paw Sox to the active roster. As the Red Sox, if you have not heard, placed Joel Hanrahan, transferred him to the 60-day DL to make room on the 25-man roster, and that was a bit of a surprise. Knew Hanrahan had the forearm problem, but he is headed to Dr. James Andrews to get it checked out. It sounds like surgery is a real possibility.
It sure sounded like that today, didn't it, Don?
Yes.
You know, when John Farrell was talking about it, going for a second opinion, Dr. Andrews.
Pitch number 100 fouled off. The Red Sox also optioning Alan Webster, the 23-year-old who started here last night. Sent back to Pawtucket after making his second career major league start. On the ground foul outside of first base. So now you're in a situation where you had sort of the 7th, 8th inning guys, and or at least the 6th, 7th guys in Tozawa and Uehara working in the middle of the game. You will have them working at the end of the game now with Bailey and Hanrahan out. And the question is, who's going to fill in the middle? It's a swing and a miss. Lackey strikes out Mauer for the 3rd time tonight. 7th inning stretch, 5-3 Twins. As Bruins look to wrap up and take care of business tomorrow night after taking 2 games at the Air Canada Center. Don't forget, we will be on NESN Plus tomorrow night, game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. As we head to the last half of the 7th inning, it is 5-3. The Twins on top of the Red Sox, and it is Jacoby Ellsbury to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Dunsing back on the mound here for the Twins. He finished out the 6th and starts the 7th inning. Dealing with the left-handed hitting Jacoby Ellsbury, who takes ball 1. Dunsing came in, got Drew to fly out to the left, and then he struck out David Ross to end the 6th inning. Ellsbury fouls this off himself. Both pens are busy. Josh Renicky had been up earlier, back up again from Minnesota. Now Koji Uehara is up in the Red Sox pen. Lackey through 7 innings has thrown 102 pitches now. Fouled off to the left, out of play. It's amazing how one play can turn a game right around. Lackey could have gotten out of that inning with a double play without giving up a run.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The walk before that put a man at first base, but then the ground ball right back to Lackey, and not that difficult to play, but he threw it out into center field, and that ended up being a big inning for the Twins.
Twins go on to score 4 times in the inning as Ellsbury strikes out here to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. It's time for a Toyota game break. Here's Tom Caron. All right, Tom, thanks very much. As one out here in the 7th inning in a 2-run game, Red Sox trailing by 2. Shane Victorino is 2 for 3 in the game tonight, a single and a double. And he pops it up. Morneau in foul ground will make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Every Friday home game this season, NESN has your ticket for an extra 30 minutes of Red Sox pregame coverage live from Yawkey Way. It's Friday Night Fenway, presented by Budweiser, starting at 5:30 tomorrow night, right here on NESN. 2 outs in the 7th inning, and Dustin Pedroia also a 2-hit night. Up and away for ball 1. Dunsing falling behind 2-0. He's retired the first 4 Red Sox batters that he has faced in the game, 2 by way of the K. That's a strike over the outside corner. Staying away from Pedroia and falling behind 3-1. David Ortiz waiting on deck, and 0 for 3 nights so far tonight for Big Papi. Ball 4, and Pedroia is aboard with 2 down in the inning. That is the first walk given up by Twins pitching in the game. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or one where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital. CBS is aiming for a goal of $25,000 in donations this season. Well, David coming to bat here, 0 for 3 in the game. He is flied out to center and grounded out twice. Left-handers are just 2 for the last 17 against Dunsing. Tough lefty. As Ortiz takes ball 1 outside, and Mauer's going to go and talk to Dunsing. Join Nesson and AT&T in support of the One Fund Boston to benefit victims of the marathon bombing. Text Boston to 80108 to donate $10 now, or visit onefundboston.org. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms, go to mgive.org/T. 1-0 to David Ortiz. It's outside, 2-0. No success in the past against Dunsing. Ortiz to center, but out Hicks out there in center field, who makes the catch that ends the inning. We're headed to the 8th with the Twins on top by 2. Carrick Brewers and Green Mountain K-Cups delivered right to your office. Who do you call for the flavors you want and prices you'll savor? Who but WB Mason? Well, back at Fenway as we head for inning number 8. 5-3 Twins on top. This call to the bullpen is brought to you on Nesson by New England Ford dealers. Koji Uehara in to pitch the 8th. His 16th appearance of the year. No record, but a 2.63 earned run average. 17 strikeouts to just 2 walks on the year. And opponents hitting at 216 against Uehara. Josh Willingham leading it off for Minnesota, 0 for 3 in the game. As he takes strike 1.
That split-fingered fastball from Uehara. They quickly jump ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned Don earlier with the injuries to the bullpen, everybody's role has changed out there right now, and it takes a while to settle into those roles.
Twins have action of their own in the pen. Right-hander Jared Burton warming. One-two pitch to Willingham. He strikes out. Uehara strikes out Willingham for the first out of the 8th.
There's a split-fingered fastball again by Uehara down at the bottom of the strike zone for the swing and miss. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pitch Zone.
One out, 5 in a row retired by Red Sox pitching, and here is Justin Morneau. He's been on base twice tonight, a walk and a single. Red Sox in the shift on the right side as Morneau takes strike 1. John Lackey tonight goes the first 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs. 1 is earned after his throwing miscue. A walk and 8 strikeouts for Lackey, and through the first 5 innings, he was extremely good tonight.
You know, Don, I'll be honest with you. I thought tonight John Lackey had the best stuff that he's had all season.
He departs on the hook as this one is fouled back.
John Lackey able to throw his fastball by people tonight. Had a good cut fastball working for him. A curveball caused the mistake. The throw in his center field, which really hurt him, and then the home run. But I thought stuff-wise, tonight was maybe the best that we've seen John Lackey so far this season.
Longest start of the year for Lackey. Game turned on a dime after that throwing error. 2-2 pitch is outside, and it's a full count now. Uehara upset with himself after that last delivery. Full count. Pop-up foul out of play. Swinging a foul tip for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Uehara. 2 down. Send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, with interleague play coming up, we asked the question to fans if they are for or against a designated hitter, and here are some of the best answers brought to you by AT&T. Jamie said, how can Red Sox fan not be for the DH? 2 words, Big Poppy. I want to see the best pitching against the best hitting, so I am in favor for the DH. And on the other side, I like the DH in the AL and no DH in the NL. It separates the 2 leagues and makes them fun for different reasons. I know you guys talked about it a little before, but for or against the DH, what do you have?
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm for it too.
I'm for it too. I kind of look at it as like a quarterback in football. You know, I think you try to protect your pitches as much as possible. Is so valuable. Why send him to the plate? And what's the excitement? Bunt? And I don't know. I like the DH. I've always, of course, I grew up with it in the American League. So
right. We're used to it. I bet you.
And you ask
the National League, they prefer their way.
And they love their style of baseball.
Swing and a miss. Uehara strikes out the side in order. Keeps it a 2-run deficit for the Sox.
domingo, Día de las Madres, a Fenway. Yo escogeré una y me juntaré contigo y tu madre antes del juego. Ve a Nessen.com/historia y escogeremos la historia del Día de las Madres tuya.
So now we have heard it both in English and in Spanish. And again, if you have tickets to Sunday's game and have a good story about you and your mother on Mother's Day, then pass it along to Nesson.com. And you have a chance to have a meet and greet with Big Papi as he will choose the best story for Sunday's game. 5-3, Twins have the lead over the Red Sox here as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Some changes for the Twins. And at shortstop is Escobar for Florimon. And the new pitcher now for the Twins is Jared Burton, who comes in. He's been up the last couple of innings. 15th appearance, 0-1 with a 2.08 earned run average. 13 strikeouts, 3 walks, and opponents hitting at .213 against him. Florimon leaving the game with a tight hamstring. Mike Napoli leads it off. Double in the 6th inning. His last time up, a 1-for-3 night. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Five runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Twins. 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Napoli strikes out to begin the 8th.
Now something off speed right there, either a changeup or a split-fingered fastball, but it bounces down in the dirt and no contact right there. Actually, it hit the plate. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pitch Zone.
One out here in the 8th inning as Burton takes over for Brian Dunsing and did a very good job, inning in 2/3. No hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 Ks. Pitcher of record for Minnesota, their starter Kevin Correa came in at 3-2 and departed after 5 1/3 innings. A chance for his 4th win of the season. Nava has 2 hits in the game, and another impressive outing for Koji Uehara. Strikes out the side in order. (2-0). Craig Breslow, the veteran left-hander, up in the Boston pen. Tried to bring it back to the corner, did Mauer, but it's 3-0. Nava taken all the way, and he's aboard with a 1-out walk. 3rd time he's been on tonight.
Had 2 singles and a walk for Nava, a single in the 4th, a single to drive in a run in the 6th, and now a walk here in the 8th inning.
We'll remind you to get set for every Red Sox game on Nesson with Red Sox Game Day Live. Presented by DCU. Nesson's pregame coverage of the Sox begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, backing the DCU way. 1 out, 1 on. Will Middlebrooks. 1 for 390, doubled in the 2nd inning. As he takes strike 1. To hold up. Did he go? No. Corey Blazer, the first base umpire.
Good call by Corey Blazer down at first base. No swing that time by Middlebrooks.
Go to first, and back to the bag is Nava. Outside, ball 2. Outfield deep and straight away. Nava with his lead at first. Middlebrooks fouls it off the end of the bat. It evens at 2-2. Tying run at the plate in Will Middlebrooks here in the bottom of the 8th inning. S&S Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2013 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital for every home run hit by the Red Sox. To date, $19,500 has been donated. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. Middlebrooks batting now with 1 out and 1 on, and Stephen Drew waiting on deck. Middlebrooks fouls off another. Burton with a 2-2. Middlebrooks grounds it foul. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up here for Will Middlebrooks as Maurer goes to the mound. Dunkin' Donuts wants to thank all of their guests who generously donated to the One Fund Boston. Together, Dunkin' guests raise much-needed funds to help support victims of the marathon. Please visit www.onefundboston.org to donate more. 1 out, Nav at first, the 2-2. Fly ball foul again off to the right, out of play. In tight for ball 3. Full count now. Tenth pitch of the at bat. Middlebrooks grounds to short. Escobar with a bobble, and everybody's going to be safe. Had a chance to turn a double play to get out of the inning. Now the Red Sox have a chance to take advantage of the miscue for the Twins.
Yeah, just trying to be too quick was Escobar. It didn't look like he looked the ball right into his glove. So the Red Sox catching a huge break. You could see his head turn towards second base before he had that ball secured in his glove. The Red Sox looking to take advantage of a break like the Twins did earlier in the ball game.
They're charged Escobar. 2 on and 1 out, and coming up is Stephen Drew. So the Twins cashed in on their opportunity earlier on. Now the Red Sox trying to do the same late in this one as they bat in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out. Stephen Drew has a 1-for-3 night, had an RBI single back in the 4th inning. This one glances off Maurer, but no advance for Nava.
Now, if you're not sure, you don't go. And sometimes you just cannot tell from second base how far that ball gets away from the catcher. You got the hitter blocking you a bit. You got the pitcher blocking you some, and you just can't tell. If you're not sure, you stay home because you're already in scoring position.
That error, incidentally, is the first in 12 games for the Minnesota Twins. You see how costly it is. Action in the Red Sox pen. Trent Breslow, Shinichi Tozawa, who is now the Red Sox closer. Outside, 1-1. Burton with a strikeout, gives up a walk to Nava with 1 out. The miscue at shortstop by Escobar. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Drew lines one down the right field line, foul. Nothing off the backside was Burton, as back to the bag at second goes Nava. Drew strikes out and grabs the inside corner. That's out number 2 of the 8th, and the second strikeout for Jared Burton.
That's a good tough pitch right there by Burton. Comes back inside with that fastball. Had Drew moving back off the plate and picks up the inside corner. Pitch number 4.
And of a pinch hitter for David Ross. Mike Karp will pinch hit. 382 for the Red Sox, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. He bats for David Ross, who had fouled out and struck out twice. And Karp takes strike 1. Karp 0 for his last 8. That's strike 2. Karp gets a piece to stay alive. Escobar hoping his error is not costly, as the inning able to continue as a result. Red Sox have the tying run at first base. 0-2 to Karp is strike 3, and the inning is over. The Red Sox strand a pair. We head to the ninth, 5-3 Minnesota. Subaru dealers and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Centers. I'm unfortunate tonight. We had light rain in the middle of the game, but it has subsided, and right now precipitation free at Fenway Park, but the Twins have a 5-3 lead as we head to the top of the ninth inning. Defensive changes for the Red Sox. Jared Saltalamacchia into the game as Mike Carr pinch hit for David Ross, and the new pitcher, part of our Coors Light refrigerator, in from the bullpen is Craig Breslow. His third appearance without a record, a 9.00 earned run average. Walk and a strikeout. Opponents hitting at 500 so far against Breslow. Just his third appearance of the season. Sox fans, his new reliever in town, and he's throwing silver bullets. It'll be Ryan Domit coming up. Oswaldo Arcia and Aaron Hicks scheduled to bat for Minnesota.
Now, when you look at this game, Don, I mean, it was the Twins that really took advantage of a break back in the 6th inning, and the Red Sox could not take advantage of a break in the 8th inning when they had that error by the shortstop Escobar. John Locke throwing the ball into center field. Of course, that opened up the floodgates a little bit in that inning. And then there was the play at the plate, the throw by Victorino, no tag by David Ross, and then the home run by Arcia. So they took advantage of the mistakes. The Red Sox could not do so this past inning.
The Twins have their closer up, Glenn Perkins, warming up. One-0 misses to Domit, and it's 2-0. Craig Breslow allowed all 4 batters that he faced in his last outing to reach. He had 2 runs, 1 earned. Dating back to last year, it snapped an 11-game scoreless streak for him, 10 innings pitched. He's now appeared in 3 out of 4 games since being activated from the DL on Monday. Which began the season on the DL, left shoulder tendonitis. The 3-0 green light, ground ball to third base. Middlebrooks with a double pump, and his throw is not going to be in time. Middlebrooks backed up on it, almost played him, and then kind of double pumped on the throw, and reaching at first is Domit.
Yeah, throw just goes high at first base. You see Middlebrooks backing up, takes an extra crow hop step, and that throw just goes awry on him. Up off the bat comes Napoli, and safe at first base is Domit.
Error charge to Middlebrooks. 7 errors in the series for the Red Sox. Offensively, it has been a tough series. Lead runner on here for Minnesota as they try to grab some insurance here in the 9th inning. Oswaldo Arcia with a swing and a miss for strike 1. Arcia from Venezuela, just 21 years old. Actually, today is May 9th, yes?
Today is May 9th.
He's 22 today, Jerry.
A birthday boy.
Yes. So he is homered on his birthday. And a 2-run shot back in the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch is inside. There is more action in the Red Sox pen. Clayton Mortensen is now up. Sliced foul, and it's 2-2. Seven innings for John Lackey tonight. 6 hits, 5 runs, 1 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 8. On the hook, he came in at 1 and 2. Koji Uehara works the 8th inning and strikes out all 3 batters that he faces. Now Craig Breslow starts the 9th inning. A miscue for Middlebrooks at third base as Ryan Domit at first. Now ground ball towards Middlebrooks at third. He will go to first for the first out of the inning, as taking second is Ryan Domit. So not a sacrifice, but they do get the runner to second base with one down in the inning. One of the points of pride of the Red Sox Foundation is their Red Sox Scholars Program presented by Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. We thank such sponsors as H.B. Hood, and we congratulate these inspiring young people. Runner at second and one out. Aaron Hicks doubled in the fifth inning. On the inside corner, 1-1. Breslow last year 1-0 with a 2.70 earned run average. He gave up 6 earned runs in 20 innings pitched in 23 outings for Boston in 2012 after he was acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks at the trade deadline last year. That'll bounce in for ball 2. Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th inning have the top of the order scheduled. Ellsbury, Victorino, and Pedroia. Anybody gets on, David Ortiz will have a chance, and Glenn Perkins ready in the pen, the closer for the Twins. Right now, Breslow trying to keep this a 2-run deficit for the Red Sox.
We saw Perkins in the ballgame last night, and he was very tough.
Hicks will ground one by the mound is short. Drew's got it. And there are 2 outs in the inning. No advance for Dolman, who remains at second base. Nessa Daily brings you everything you need to know about the day in Boston sports. Jamison Coyle and Leah Hextall lead our team coverage as the Bruins hope to deliver the knockout punch to the Maple Leafs in Game 5 tomorrow night. Jack Edwards will join them in studio. We'll also break down tonight's game here at Fenway, including Tim Wakefield's breakdown of John Lackey's night. Plus, WEI's Mike Salk gives us his top 5 sports topics here in the Hub. All that and much more tonight following our Red Sox coverage on Nesson Daily. Runner at second, 2 down. Escobar takes a pitch up and away for ball 1. He took over for Pedro Florimon. Left the game with a hamstring problem. (1-0) is squibbed back towards the mound. A lot of spin on it, but Breslow's got it, and that will end the inning. So they work around the error committed at third base by Middlebrooks. We head to the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 2. Save 10 cents on every gallon of gas every day. No gimmicks, no catches, just savings. Join for free at CumberlandFarms.com. Well, last chance for the Red Sox here as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Changes for the Twins. Chris Parmelee comes in right field, takes over for Oswaldo Arcia. And the closer in from Minnesota, Glenn Perkins. 13th appearance, 7 out of 7 in save opportunities. Opponent sitting at just 195 against him as Jacoby Ellsbury takes strike one. 15 pitches in a scoreless inning last night for Glenn Perkins. Ellsbury tonight 0 for 4 in the game. And ground one foul and is down 0-2.
And Perkins last night was throwing very hard in that game. 96, 97 with his fastball and that hard tight slider that he just threw to Ellsbury.
Leads all Twins relievers in strikeouts with 18. That's an 11 2/3 innings pitched. Didn't miss by a lot, and it's ball one. Shane Victorino on deck. Red Sox batting in the bottom of the ninth. Two and two. Fouled off to the left out of play. Ellsbury protecting the plate. Outside, ball three. Ellsbury is down 0-2, but he has patiently worked it full here, 3-2. Ball four. Ellsbury's aboard a walk to begin things in the bottom of the ninth. Nice at bat for Jacoby Ellsbury. Tonight's Twisted but True Fact comes to you from our nation's capital as Washington's Jordan Zimmerman has now pitched 24 innings in his last 3 starts. Zimmerman has allowed just a single run. Now leads the National League with 6 wins and is second with a 1.59 earned run average. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is the refreshing hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. ZRA in 3 starts, 0.37. Lead runner on here in the ninth inning. There's Shane Victorino steps in on the right side. There's strike one from Perkins. There's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Inside, almost hit him, and it's 1-1. Again at 95, but too far inside.
Almost got the short of Shane Victorino.
Fouled off, 1-2. Popped up, foul ground. Maurer heading over towards the seats, will not have a play. No home runs have been hit in this game by the Red Sox, keeping their current season total at 39, with Hess and Hess Express donating $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital. For every Red Sox home run, it's at 19.5 right now. Hess and Hess Express. 1-2 pitch coming to Shane Victorino. Over the inside corner for strike 3. And the first out of the ninth. Shane didn't think so. Says some stuff to Lance Barksdale.
Well, it's borderline. I mean, it's a fastball that's it looks like it maybe gets part of the inside corner. We'll see as Victorino jumps back. And maybe just a piece of it does have the corner. Barksdale's had a pretty good strike zone all night long.
One out, one on for Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia pops it up, foul, out of play. Dustin with 2 hits tonight. He's been on base 3 times. 2 singles and a walk. He's driven in a run. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. That 95-mile-an-hour fastball again.
Pedroia looking to tie the game up with this swing.
One for 7 in his career against Perkins. Too high for ball 1. Down and in. They got away briefly from Maurer. Ellsbury remains at first.
Ball rolling up that third base line, and Jacoby gets a good look at exactly where it is, and he can't take that chance down by 2 runs. Nice job by Maurer to knock that down.
David Ortiz on deck. 1 out, 1 on here in the ninth. Tying run at the plate in Dustin Pedroia. Swinging a foul back. Another foul off to the right, out of play. More fastballs from Perkins. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming up for Dustin Pedroia with 1 out in the ninth. Pedroia fouls another one back.
He's had some good swings in this at bat, and he's seen an awful lot of pitches. Fouling back the slider this time.
Too high, full count. Pedroia strikes out looking and is not pleased about it at all. Lance Barksdale rings him up. Back-to-back Ks for Perkins.
I thought that slider was inside. Let's take another look at the 9th pitch of this at bat. Breaking ball. Well, very similar to the one that was thrown to Victorino. That was also called a strike.
They're both unhappy. 2 outs in the 9th inning. David Ortiz with Ellsbury at first base. And Ortiz takes ball 1. Oh for 4 tonight is David Ortiz. Same spot, and it's 2-0. Time call as Ortiz backs out ahead 2-0. David, it's a ground ball to first. Morneau tags the bag, and that is that. The Minnesota Twins come in and take 3 out of 4 from the Red Sox, as a frustrated group of Red Sox lose this one 5-3 as we send it to Tom Caron.